Welcome to Empowered to Grow, the podcast. I am your host, Hanan El-Basha, the business doctor. Following our conversations with empowered women who woke up one day and consciously claimed, I am more than enough, I am worthy, I am empowered to grow. And along their empowering journey towards realizing their own potential and their quest for growth, they became a beacon of hope and guidance for others. May you also find your inner power to grow. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Empowered to Grow podcast. This is your host, Hanan El-Basha, and today I'm joined by the lovely Dina Mostafa all the way from Egypt. Hi, Dina.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. Dina is kind of the superwoman of modern day. So she's a wife and a mom. She's also a career woman, an entrepreneur, a freelancer, and she enjoys doing all the roles. So I'm sure we're going to be exploring a lot about that, Dina. But I like to start first with the concept of being empowered to grow. That's the name of the podcast. And I would love to know what it means for you or how it resonated with you.
Okay, so empowerment today, it can mean a lot of things to different women. To me, it means self-development and having the trust and confidence in myself to push myself to my limits and see where I can go with that. And just trusting the process, I guess. You mentioned that I am a freelancer. I have a full-time job. I do have my own project. So it's very hard to push through all these things at the same time and balance with my own responsibilities of being a wife, a mom. So having the support definitely from those around me and a goal, just a goal and a dream, and working towards it just helps me or actually empowers me to see where I can go with that and achieve my best, I guess. So it's I can't really define it in just a couple of words, and it's so much, and it's a lot of things.
I can imagine. It's not I don't think if we look it up as empowerment in the dictionary, I don't think it does it justice, because as you said, it's a very subjective concept, and it's how you feel it and how you embody it and how you live it on a daily basis. So I like the fact that you said it's a whole thing. It's a whole ecosystem in your life, actually being empowered to grow.
Exactly.
So speaking of that, actually, so you're empowered to grow in your own way, but you've also empowered others to grow through your work and everything that you do. So tell us a bit more about your story.
Okay, so let me take you back, you can say like 10 years ago. I was very passionate about marketing, and I started this online magazine. It was the first online magazine targeting women in Egypt. And back then, social media and digital marketing was just booming. That was around, like a little over 10 years ago. And so I had this idea of promoting the online magazine through local designers here in Egypt. And that's when I thought of why not renting a ballroom, having these talented group of designers in the same place and marketing for that event, and giving them a chance to showcase their products to all of these lovely ladies and whoever is interested in such arts and crafts and accessories, and people are very talented and they just don't have the tools to open their own store, for example, and showcase all these things. So basically I contacted all these great people and had them in the same place, marketed for this event. There were raffles, there were prizes. It was a really fun day. And to promote the magazine, I gave every single designer a full page ad for free. And well, my aim through these events was to promote for the magazine, but actually they were so happy from the outcome that they asked for more of these events. And I was just like, but that's not the goal here.
Yeah.
They were really happy, and I was very happy that I helped them reach a much bigger customer base. And I actually did that again once and twice and three times. And then I decided to, why not, like have a shop, like a rent a store, and have everyone display their things, not just for one day, but for a whole period of time. And I did that for a few years, 4 years to be exact. And then that's when it started affecting my personal life, you can say. I had a full-time job, and my son was entering his terrible twos. And it was just getting so overwhelming. And I had to choose, actually, whether or not I wanted to quit my full-time job or grow my store. And I don't regret this decision, but I chose to close down the shop, and I picked, you can say, the easier option of having a stable job and concentrating on my family, dedicating specific hours to work. And I stayed, well, trying to balance it out for a few years. And then I felt like there was still more I could do. And that's when I started a platform under the name of Girl Boss, because when I was handling the shop, let's put aside that I had a full-time job, but I had limited money to actually spend on marketing. And unfortunately, we all do as startups. We invest in the product, in the material and all that, and we ignore, or not ignore, just concentrate a little on marketing.
Prioritize the marketing efforts. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's very important to market for your business and brand today. So I know how challenging it could be. And so I started this platform a few years ago with the aim to support business owners, content creators, just basically marketers, anyone who's marketing for their product or service. And I started sharing these tips. And it wasn't just tips dedicated to digital marketing or content creation. It was also dedicated to taking care of your mental health while managing your business. So it had a little bit of everything. And I was speaking to the modern girl who had so many things on her mind, and she didn't know where to start with digital marketing or promoting or growing her business online. And then I started getting these requests about managing social media, their pages, and I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't want to make money out of this. I just wanted to share my knowledge and experience of how you can actually do this all on your own. You don't need to, hire an agency with thousands of pounds, but you can actually do this online, grow your brand, just share a few fundamentals and experience with other women that are interested in growing their business online. And you don't actually need to do this by yourself. You can hire someone, but you need to know to have the know-how, or just basically understand what they're going to be doing. So that was my aim. And actually today I've proudly helped over 80 entrepreneurs or business owners grow their business online through very simple tactics like audits, online content calendars. And I'm so proud of what they've reached. They're really amazing. So that's, I guess, trying maybe to empower a few women out there. And I hope I'm doing a good job.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. So from that perspective, Dina, from where you stand today, what advice would you go back and give your 19-year-old self?
Well, that's a very hard question. I think trust myself more, and trust my decisions. Take it easy. We put so much stress and pressure on ourselves to we have these expectations that we want to reach, or this goal that we want to work towards, and we don't give ourselves the time or the thought that this can affect me in a negative way along the way. So take your time, trust yourself, and enjoy the journey. I guess if I would have told myself that, I would have taken more thought in a lot of the things or decisions I took. But honestly, I don't regret anything. Everything that I've went through helped me grow in my own way. And I don't think I would have reached where I was today if I hadn't gone through all these steps, you can say, or this whole journey, I guess.
That's what I say all the time. I'm like, yeah, there were times where I wish things were different, but now that I know better, I know that everything just, kind of added up to who I am today. And I can't, we're evolving on a daily basis, which is an amazing feat. Okay, the other end of the spectrum then, you're 90 old self. You had a time machine or a time capsule, and she wants to send you today a thank you note. What would you thank you for?
That's even harder than the question you asked.
I know. It's not a hard question. It's just, it's just from where you are today, what would you like her to thank you for?
That's a really hard one.
Yeah, that's usually, by the way, that evokes a lot more thought than the 19, because the 19, you've been there and you can easily, excuse me, go back and tell her, okay, do this, do that. But like literally all my guests, they just stop with them. That's interesting. Let me think about it a little bit.
It is very interesting. I mean, let me tell you, when I attend any networking event and just sitting there, and then someone comes up to me and says, "Oh, are you on Instagram? You're girl boss from Instagram, and I watch your reels, and they really inspire me, and they help me." Like I've heard this a couple of times, which really shocked me. I've been told that my reels or the tips that I've been sharing has helped a few girls start their own business and do what they actually are passionate about. And something like that really touches me. It just makes me feel like I'm doing something that's actually helping someone achieve their dreams. If I played a tiny role in someone's dream, or someone's you can say just a small step in achieving their goals, or making them happy or smile, that's something. So I guess maybe I thank myself for wanting, or I don't know, just
striving to add value and sticking with
it, and trying to add value. So I guess I've been trying to do that, and with all the support that I've been getting online, honestly, I mean, all of us online, whether we're selling a product or promoting for a service, what we do and how we continue to do it is shaped by all of the our audiences online, I guess.
That's true. The community that gets created around you.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. So I'm thankful for them, and they've definitely shaped a lot of what Girl Boss has become today. And I guess knowing that when I'm 90, I'd like to thank my 35-year-old self for doing that.
That's great. I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Okay. Our last question. You're on a stage and you're talking to tens of thousands of women, and the topic is about being empowered to grow. So what would be that last message you leave them with?
again, I think I said this before, but I can't stop saying it. Trust yourself and believe in yourself. And we were just talking about this. If you feel like something is stopping you from working towards your dream or developing yourself, or just anything that's in the way of your growth, just say no to it.
Yeah.
And stick to those who are supporting you, supporting your development, who are helping you, or giving you the power and strength to keep doing what you do, keep doing what you love. These are the ones, or the people that need to keep, well, you keep having them in your life, because that's what you need when you're businesswoman, when you're working hard all day. That's what you need. You need the support, the mental support, to keep doing what you love, to work towards what you love. So trust in yourself and don't stop growing. And if something or someone stops you from growing or puts you down, just ignore that, put them aside, all their negative energy and negative vibes, and just keep moving forward, because you're the only one that's going to help you is yourself. So I guess that's basically it.
I love that. Dina, where can our viewers and listeners find you in virtual space?
I'm on a lot of the platforms, on Facebook and LinkedIn, but mainly you'll find my content, like the most content, on Instagram, and I'm on there as girlboss.eg.
Okay.
And
we're going to be putting all the links to
Sure.
to your stuff in the show notes as well.
Thank you. I'm so thankful. Thank you.
Dina, thank you so much. As you said, it's really just about being yourself, but also showing up the way you want to show up and where you feel you're adding the most value. And I think also it's a two-way thing, where you feel and know that you're adding value is to keep showing up consistently as well.
That's correct.
Yeah. Thank you, Dina. Thank you to our listeners. And I hope you show up for yourself as well, and you trust yourself, and that you join us in the upcoming episode of our Uncharted discussions. So until then, I wish you love, prosperity, and abundance, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Empowered to Grow podcast. For further engagement with a tribe of empowered women, join my Facebook group, Empowered to Grow, or visit my website, www.hananelbasha.com. I'll catch you on the next episode. And until then, know that empowered you empowers others. Love, abundance, and prosperity to you all.